This is the Adams Conservation Commission meeting, Thursday, April 29th, 2021. And close enough to 6:30. It's called to order. I have to read from the governor's Baker's order. No in-person attendance of the members of the public will be permitted, but every effort has been made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as proceeded for the order. We have posted today's agenda in accordance with the open meeting law, which included the call-in information for the meeting. Despite our best efforts, we were not able to provide a real-time access for the public to participate in today's meeting. A recording of this meeting can be made available by request, as this meeting is being recorded using Zoom platform. We are participating remotely. Please note that all votes taken during this meeting will be by a roll call vote. Okay, and our next thing is the approval of the minutes. We've all seen the minutes, I take it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as they are proposed by Donna Season?
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes.
And do I have a second?
I'll second
I'm fighting over this one. Okay, any more discussion? All in favor of accepting the minutes as recorded, say aye.
Aye.
it. Aye.
I'll abstain.
I'm going to do it by roll call because remember that's what it said in our directions from Governor Baker. So Brian,
Aye.
Natasha,
Aye.
David,
Abstain.
Aye.
and Tom, aye, and Jim Fassel, aye. The ayes have it with one abstention. At this point, okay, at this point, we are going to file the Pan Am Railroad. We're doing a request for determination of the Pan Am Railroad, Inc. Application is requesting a verification of sensitive areas along the wetland boundaries of the Adams Branch rail line as they pertain to the Wetlands Protection Act. And through our instructions through DEP, it should be a +2, or what was the other?
2A or B.
Right
There's a letter.
in front of you, hon, with the
Right.
orange stick. Orange stick.
There you go.
Okay. Take your choice.
Well,
Explain the difference between A and B. A and B, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it deals with the area as opposed to the herbicide itself. That's the reason why they have it too, but go ahead, Jim.
And which
You probably
one are we the area?
I don't know.
Let's just do,
Jim, would you like to hear from the applicant?
was that,
With the applicant? Would you want to hear from the applicant?
is the applicant here?
Yeah, my name's Keith Morris, consultant for
Oh,
Pan Am Railways.
I thought you were the engineers. Okay,
I was just gonna say nothing if you were just gonna prove it like that, but I'll explain a little bit about it. Their vegetation management plan is good for 5 years, and every 5 years when we renew it, the only issue that pertains to the Wetlands Protection Act is we have to renew the no spray zones along their rights of way with each local commission, which their lines run through. In Adams, it's just a small branch. It's under a mile. And I've been doing this every 5 years for about 25 years or so altogether. So it's very obvious where the no sprays are in this branch. Some of you are probably familiar with it. I know in the past I've met, I think, 1 or 2 commissioners out there to look, but we've been doing it so long. You can see when I actually ride with the tanker truck when he does the spraying with these maps so that the no spray zones are located and obviously not sprayed. And you can, after all these years, see exactly, where they shut off their spray. But as far as the markings, it's not your typical wetland delineation with blue numbered flagging located by a surveyor. The Department of Agricultural Resources oversees this part of the regulation. And it's actually painted tie. So if you're going to a stream crossing, you would have a blue tie followed immediately by a yellow tie. You cross the stream and coming on the other side, you would have a yellow tie, then a blue tie. And in between the yellow ties would be a no spray zone. And then you have certain areas where one side you could spray, the other side you couldn't spray because there's.
So it's just these areas of spraying, so would be 2 plus, 2A plus, which one?
The Mark Stinson from DEP, the Western region, says the proper way to do it is a 2A because there's no work proposed. It's just approving these wetland boundaries as they pertain to vegetation management. 2B, I think, would be that you didn't agree with them.
Okay, so
Go
we're making a motion to accept 2A. Is there any?
So moved.
Just a question. When we approve this approval is good for the next 5 years?
Correct. It's the only determination that's good for 5 years and not 3 years.
Okay, thank you. I'll make a motion, we approve it based upon 2A designation.
Do I have a second? David, your turn.
Sure, second.
Any comments? I thank you very much for your helping us out, because,
Yes,
This
very
is-
professional.
yes,
This is a little different.
yeah, okay, Tom?
Yes. What do you want me to say?
Yes.
Yes.
David?
Yes,
Natasha?
Yes.
And Brian?
Yes.
Good, okay, it's unanimous.
Okay. Thank you very much. And if I could just have a copy emailed to me, the determination, whenever it's ready, that would be great.
You have to sign this, Pam?
Have a good night.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Now, how are we gonna do for the other two, Tom? We're gonna sign their names?
I'll sign, we'll give it to Pam. Pam can do it officially.
Pam, you can be Brian?
We haven't done anything.
We-
Call order.
I can tell the difference, I'm doing this.
She left-handed?
Left-handed. Oh, yeah, no question about that. You're signing for
Just,
Brian.
Town hall?
You signed for Brian.
No, I don't think so. Okay, it would be helpful if, either we can send a PDF for signatures to, those that can send it back to us, or if, members could come into town hall.
Okay. Okay, so we're all set. Okay, the next issue?
Yeah.
The next issue is a continuance of a notice of intent filed by Cumberland Farms, a property owned on 5 Elm Street, proposed construction of a gas station and convenience store facility. Emily, is Emily with us? No.
No, Emily Stockman, no. Sorry, I'm here for a different meeting, but
Oh,
And we can't see you, so
who
we can
is
hear
that?
you, but we can't, I don't.
that's okay. Donna knows who I am. I thought you weren't gonna be there.
Donna, do you know who that is?
So the continuance is by, you know, by Cumberland Farms. They requested the continuance. We had, just to update the commission, last week, we had a conference call of the Cumberland Farms engineers, Bowler, and Emily Stockman and Jeff Randall with Hill Engineers. It was a really good conference call. They have issued, the Bowler people have issued a response to almost every one of the Emily, Jeff Randall, you know, critique. The only issue is the mitigation, the one-to-one mitigation. They don't have enough area on site to provide, you know, the resource areas that they are taking. They don't have the ability to provide that mitigation on site. So what I have suggested is that we have a conference call, Emily and Jeff Randall and I try to reach out to Mark Stinson and get some guidance in terms of mitigation. And then we would bring that back to the commission in 2 weeks, if that's when you want to extend it. But I just wanted to convey to the commission that Emily complimented the engineers during the call. She said, you've done a brilliant job on site. Everything you can do, you're doing on site. It's just that, you know, she and Jeff didn't feel comfortable. It's really going to be a commission decision about the mitigation. And right now we're trying to come up with a solution that meets more the letter of the law, and bring that to you. So.
Okay,
I have a question.
all right.
Did you address the catch basin issue and the outflow from the catch basin? Where does it go? Does it go to the river or does it go into a wastewater treatment plant or in some other place?
No, it would go to the river eventually,
Not good, not good.
but it's treated on
What
site.
happens if you have a fuel or gas spill? It's going directly into the
Well, it's
river.
against the law to have your drainage, I believe, go into the storm.
Sewer line.
Yes, sewer.
It's
Against the law.
But here's the concern that I have. The concern that I have is if we have a fuel spill, it's going directly into the river. If everybody thinks that's a good idea, fine. I don't think it's a good idea. Okay? So I just want to go on record. I think it's wrong.
Well, keep in mind the drainage on site goes into a treatment facility.
You can't
that's
treat
below
1,000 gallons of gas. No,
Okay.
fine, thank you.
Okay.
That's my position, okay? I don't think it's right. So, whatever.
Okay, well, I'll certainly
The
convey,
law is the law.
I'll
Fine.
convey that though, yes.
I'm just expressing a personal opinion that I don't think it makes sense to send that water directly into the river. Does not make sense to me.
It's sheet flow stormwater. That's where it has to go.
Worried about, Dave, is a fuel spill on the property. Where is that gonna go?
Is
Okay,
it?
that's what I'm concerned about. It might never happen, but if it does, we've got a real problem. Okay,
I'll bet you that every gas station on the planet has the same situation. If there's a spill,
Mhm.
I imagine there's an emergency response that every company has. And what kind of a spill would it be, Tom? How would you have a spill?
I don't know.
How would you have a spill?
I'll give you a quick story. I can remember as a kid, I saw 1,000 gallons or more of fuel, gasoline, running down Columbia Street. Okay? As a kid, I saw it. I wasn't a kid, I think I was in my 20s. That's an absolute fact. So we can sit here and say the likelihood is very slim to none. But I'd have to believe that we're within 200 feet of the river. So whatever fuel goes into that catch basin is within 200 feet of that water, and it's going in full force. In separation, all well and good for solids, so on and so forth. But, okay, if the law says it doesn't go into the wastewater treatment plant, then the law says that. Fine.
Let us bring this up,
Yeah,
you know, and bring it up again and see what the
That's fine.
answers are.
that's fine. If the answer is we cannot do that, we cannot do what I'm suggesting we do, then fine.
Yeah,
Nothing I can do about it.
I imagine even if it went to the sewer plant, you can't treat it gasoline either.
That's
And
true.
eventually goes in the Hoosick River also.
But it's diluted to the point where it doesn't become a major issue. Here, it's not diluted, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, what it is what it is, you know?
all right. We're gonna continue it. I would like it continued for 3 weeks. And then we can get other people involved in the Davis Street process. Is there a problem with asking for a continuance of 3 weeks from the board members?
For which one, the Cumbies or Davis Street?
It would be both of them that we would continue.
Just focus on Cumberland Farms.
Okay, Cumberland Farms, 3 weeks. And you know, we've already done it 2 times. And this 2 weeks doesn't seem to be enough. So my issue would be, let's go for 3. And you know, hopefully they can, because at this point, they might want to get going. You know? So
What does Jeff say and what does Donna say? I mean, is 3 weeks necessary or can we be done in 2 weeks?
I think we can do it in 2 weeks, but if the commission feels an extra week, since this is the 3rd time, the continuation, that's fine too. Whatever the commission feels, I think is, will be fine.
I'll leave it open. I mean, I prefer
It's really
3.
based on your schedules.
Because I still want Bill Luttrell's advice during the meeting itself. But if you feel that 2 weeks is enough and they can do it, it's not, you know, I don't have any problems with that.
It doesn't matter to me.
Ryan,
Doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
He's fine.
Doesn't matter. It's fine.
Natasha,
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, again, I don't care. I
good.
want to do 3 weeks, I'll do 3 weeks.
3 weeks,
So that would be the 20th.
You know, whatever you want to
May
do.
20th,
May 20th.
May 20th?
yes.
How about, just as a thought,
We,
will it make a difference to the project if we continue it for 3 weeks as opposed to 2 weeks? Will it make a difference? Are we punishing them for not having the thing done by now? You know, I'm just saying, might not make any sense whatsoever, but
Well,
Because I don't care, I personally.
I mean, I'll go with the idea, go ahead, Don.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but did the applicant ask for 2 weeks?
No,
They just asked for an extension.
they asked for an extension. In the last extension, they asked for an extension, then we went 2 weeks instead of 1 week.
Okay.
But I can go with 2.
Yeah,
Why don't we go with 2?
We can address it in 2 weeks.
I don't mean, you know, it's not an issue. It's,
We asked Jeff because he's involved with it.
I don't,
I'm fine with speaking to Jeff if he doesn't care.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's
I
go-
talked to him today about it and he couldn't care less.
All right, let's do 2 weeks and move on.
That's what he would say.
All right.
Let's go 2 weeks then.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
Do you need a motion? Let's do a motion to extend the Cumberland Farms project for an additional 2 weeks.
All right, you making that motion?
Making a motion.
Second, Natasha, your turn.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. We're gonna go one at a time.
Tom says aye.
David says,
All right,
Brian,
Aye.
Natasha.
Aye.
Good, so 2 weeks it is. Notice of intent filed by the town of Adams requesting whether the demolition and the removal of the existing damaged culvert pipe located near the intersection of Davis and Lime Street. Okay, and we have someone present.
if I may.
Yeah.
Dan Lovett with Hill Engineers. The town has engaged Hill to design this project. So Dan is here with us tonight. I believe there are also other members of the audience where their video is not on. I believe John Barrett, superintendent with Adams, is present. And there may be some abutters to the project. As you know, the neighborhood has suffered now since the September 2018 storm events, which took out the culvert and prevented vehicular crossing on Davis Street. It has been a hardship to the neighborhood. The town is certainly aware of this. We were directed by the Board of Selectmen and the Finance Committee, though, to try to seek grant funds for this. We did apply in early 2019 for grants. It took a while not only to apply, but then to hear that we were unfortunately did not receive the funds. So we have, even though this is a kind of a small project, it's also a tricky project, and Dan's going to do a better job of explaining why that is. But I did want to say that this is an important project to the town, and we have been working on it since those terrible flood events in 2018. So thank you.
And we've gotten a phone call yesterday from John Barrett and saying that they've had a break in the water line.
Yes, there might be some leaking. Yes.
It's leaking.
So
So that is added on to the
project.
the importance of
Is
doing.
going to be added in.
no, I think they're going to. It's really something they need to address. But we're
Immediately.
sharing. Yes, the water department will be addressing that independently, but they certainly want to carefully integrate with the work that we're doing. So I think if you want to hear from the engineer.
Okay, Dan?
Hi. So all of this really stems back even way earlier than that. It actually stems back to Irene, when several culverts were blown out on Southwick Brook, including the one at East Street and the one at just downstream of Davis Street. Donna, what's that street?
Charles Street?
What?
Charles. Charles.
Yeah, in Charles Street. And so back when they first blew out, you know, Jeff Randall did this beautiful design of this open bottom arch culvert that Tommy Ayotte built. And then I did the one on Charles Street, which was a 16-foot span. It came out really nice. But unfortunately, I got a lot of flack from Mass Highway because they came to me and said, look, you can't be designing culverts. You cannot, let a culvert over 10 feet go out to bid unless it gets reviewed by Mass Highway. And so but this has come up in many towns in Western Massachusetts. I just got the exact same culvert approved for a river in Williamsburg on Depot Road, 2 months ago or something. So now, so my thinking is that, okay, so Mass Highway is gonna, kills you if you go over 10 feet. And even though this thing doesn't meet the stream crossing guidelines, it's as big as you can go without the town having to spend like $1.5 million for a real bridge. And so that's what it really boils down to. Is either you approve a 9.5-foot open bottom box culvert that doesn't meet the stream crossing guidelines, or you pay like $1.5 million for a real bridge. So that's what I explained to the people in Williamsburg. Once they fully understood that, they were like, okay, we don't want to spend $1.5 million. So that's kind of where we're at. I mean, if you guys want to pull up the drawings and go over it in detail and stuff, we can, but I don't really know how to do that from my end. That's it.
Jim, what are we supposed to accomplish here today for this hearing, for this one?
Well, we can go through and accept it if you wish, or we can, regardless of when this bridge is going to be put in, it will be put in the dry season when there is no water coming down the side. Is it the Southwick? So if we postpone it for 2 weeks and deal with some of the other issues, with Donna, there's an issue of
Well, I don't know if the commission members have had a chance to read Bill Littrell's analysis of.
Yes.
He did a careful review of the project design, of the notice of intent, and it's my understanding that his recommendation basically boils down to just providing that the design needs to contain a definitive fallweg. I don't know if that's the right way you say it. But it's a deep part of the stream channel. And it's, if I understand why that is, it's to make sure that the stream in low water conditions, it still flows rather than just, it narrows the channel in low water conditions. Maybe Dan, who's works more closely with wetland scientists, can explain it better, but that I believe is the only outstanding issue. Is that correct, Dan?
Sort of. I mean, but the reality is, I mean, I have been there and looked at Southwick Brook, and it's been dry as a bone at times. And when they put in the 16-foot span culvert for the other, just downstream from it, they put that thing in there in like less than 2 weeks. So you know, obviously you guys have to make the decision, but I do know that, you know, some of the neighbors have been calling me. They're really anxious to get this thing done and, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Why would we put this off? Why can't we just move forward? We've had the review. Can you design a foul weg?
No, it's already designed. It's done. The design is done. There is nothing else to design. There are already sections cut all over the place. Jeff Randall did the plans for this. It's a beautiful design.
Bill's reviewed it. I mean,
Bill said build it, didn't he?
Yeah, let's move forward and allow this project to move forward.
It's fine with me if that's what you wish.
Yes,
Okay,
they've been waiting for 3 years down there.
maybe we should show them that we're willing to take care. We do not, David, we do not want it to be put in insufficiently though, you know? Unfortunately,
Of course not. That's why the engineers have done all the work.
Yeah.
So I think in Bill's guidance, in his conclusion, he basically poses the question to the commission, whether you feel this project, this design meets the Massachusetts stream crossing standards to the maximum extent possible.
Exactly.
If the commission makes that finding, then you can issue the order.
Mhm.
All right, Brian, do you have any comment?
I think what's being proposed is twice as good as what's there. You
A
know,
lot more than twice, Brian.
and there's no way that you can predict what's going to happen in 25, 50, and 100 years.
Right.
Okay. So, you know, you've got to go with financially, it's something that the town can afford. It's going to be better for the neighbors and better all the way around. I don't see what gaining a couple more feet is going to do. You know, with a $1.5 million bridge.
Yeah.
I just,
Tasha, do you have any feelings for, against it?
I think it would be a good thing. That's also one of our exits from our lower hay fields. So having that back up and working would benefit a lot of people.
So you own that farm that floods all the time at the back? Are you kidding me?
We lease the barns and stuff there, yes.
That's funny.
She wishes.
Because that's where all the water ends up. When it blows out the culvert, it goes down the street and it goes out the end and it ends up in those fields.
so I'm trying to plant corn there once. And it didn't work.
No, the only thing you can do down there is plant grass.
Yeah. Alfalfa was down there once, but
Mhm.
I'm going to interject a stupid question right now. Who is the member of the audience is on the far right-hand side that I don't know who he is?
Greg Fournier?
Yeah, Greg Forney. I'm covering this for iBerkshires.
Oh. Hey, I heard there was a nice article about Hill today.
Yes,
a lot.
you asked him if he wants to.
Okay,
I need to ask questions.
Thank you.
We received a letter from Beat. I haven't ever heard of them. I don't know what it's all about. I'm hoping that there's somebody online that can.
It's Berkshire Environmental Action Team.
Mhm.
Okay. And what is their role? Who do they represent? I'm just trying to get an understanding. Are they a nonprofit that supports?
Yeah. Yeah, they're a nonprofit that likes to interfere with, get their fingers into everything and annoy people, actually.
Oh, is that, okay.
In my opinion.
You know, again, they sent us a letter, and they talk about the culvert and so on and so forth. And I would like to have a representative from their organization express their opinion to us, because this means absolutely nothing to me. I don't know who they are. I don't know who they represent. And I'd like to get their input. If they feel as though they want to make an input to any project, please come forward and make your input. But I don't want to receive a letter, whether it's criticizing or not, without the opportunity to talk to the people.
Isn't it signed? Who signed it?
Noah something.
Noah what?
Noah Harkin? I can't read it.
No, they, I think they, I don't know if the commission remembers working with the different watershed associations, and those aren't as strong as they have been in previous years.
Right.
I think BEAT is kind of stepping in, and yes, it was unsolicited. They've also done that periodically at other projects like the Glen.
Yeah, well, see, personally, I have a lot of scars from the Glen, from different organizations that beat me up over the Glen. And I don't want to get into a situation where I have someone writing letters that I can't at least communicate with and have an understanding of where they're coming from. Okay, that's my only statement.
I gotta say, I agree completely with you.
I think the fact that we have recognized their input
Yeah,
and.
thank you very much.
Exactly. Okay.
If you go on their website has an email address and a basic phone number you can contact them at. I don't know if the phone number goes to like a supervisor or if it's just their basic phone number, but.
Well, this is an open meeting. They could have came. It's online. Everything's open and available. If they care to get into a discussion, be happy to have it.
Tom, I think that's a point well taken. If they really cared to influence us or to help us out, they could have been at that meeting. Otherwise, we just had on the end of their mailing list.
That's right.
Thank you.
You want to hear from, John?
We're gonna go forward with them.
John Barrett.
About John Barrett.
John?
Yeah, really, I was just attending this to address the situation we were currently having there. I did send an email. I think before there was an issue there with putting drainage in because of the depth of the water line. So right now that water line is broken and leaking. I'm actually trying to get a contractor to bore a new one a little bit deeper than the one that's present. That's really all I have going on there. I'm just waiting for the quotes to come in.
Did you call EJ Prescott?
I did not call EJ Prescott. We're looking to, not use an air hammer bore, probably because of the rocks, and more one that's computer controlled, which JS.
No, I know exactly who you need. JS Ray.
You're right. So they've got a pretty good bore. They usually treat us good when we outsource for them guys. So I'm looking to see how that's going to go. I'm hoping to get the line, a good 5-6 feet below the visible grade in the river.
Yeah, I know the owner. If you want me to call him for you,
I know him.
All right,
we're just waiting. They're booked up. So I'm
really
expecting to probably see them. Not as booked up as they usually are. So we're lucky for that point. But I'm hoping that they're going to show up here next week and look at the job and then give me a quote for it.
All right, good.
In the meantime, the people who get water from that line, what are they doing? What are they doing?
The line is still providing water there, but so we know there's a leak on the line. We've acoustically detected the leak. Being that it's adjacent to the river, we know that there's a leak. We just can't pinpoint the area because the acoustics bleed off because of the fact that there's a river there. So the line makes a noise acoustically that we can record, and the river makes a noise acoustically. So looking back at our records, it looks like they put all brand new copper in there on the other side in front of, I think it's house 3. And so what we're looking to do is get rid of the galvanized line that's there, that is probably the original line, and put a brand new line through there. And it's my intention to probably put a 3-inch line through their sleeve, so that we can get that, if something ever happens down the road, it washed out or whatever, anything happens, hopefully we can just snake a new line through there. But I'm not expecting anything to happen in my lifetime, hopefully. So, you know, we just want to get it in there. It's going to be better for them guys over on the other river. They're going to have a lot more pressure. It's a good thing for everybody. But they do actually have water right now.
All right, so getting back to the notice of intent for the demolition and removal of the existing damaged culvert pipe. What is our procedure now?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the application as submitted in the design that was submitted.
With the addition to the with no addition.
Just, right, it would just be as, that's your motion. Mr.
Okay.
As
Chair.
submitted.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any other, we are now going to move on this. Is there any comment from the public? Okay, we're no longer now having any comments from the public. We'll now vote for the accepting this NOI has been proposed to us. Okay, I'll go with Tom.
Aye, yes.
Okay, so the motion has been made by David. Did we get a second on it?
I second it.
Okay. All right, Tom says aye. David,
Aye.
Natasha,
Aye.
and Brian.
Aye.
And my vote too is an aye.
Yes. Very good. Thank
That's
you.
great.
Thank you.
We look forward to putting this up to bid.
Thank David for that. David, let's get this out of the way.
All right, I appreciate your time and your volunteer efforts. Thank you very much. I can't wait for this damn thing to be done. It's been so many years.
Right.
Sorry about my language.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, bye.
Good evening.
See you later. Okay. We have
Do you have other business?
old business. None?
No.
My goodness. The pregnant pause. Any comments?
You gotta set up a meeting, Jim,
We have set up our meeting for next time.
3 weeks from
We said the
now.
13th.
I'm
We're
sorry.
gonna go
13th. So if,
No,
and I would just
I
say,
agree. You know,
the other commission members would prefer to come in, that is acceptable now. And we can, everybody can spread around, you know.
And that was important, David. The people there want to have this, some sort of symbol of progress going on, and now
Yeah,
we're giving them that symbol of progress.
good.
Yeah. So 2 weeks from tonight.
13th of May, we schedule our next meeting for the 13th of May.
Okay, make a motion if you.
I'll make a motion.
I won't be able to attend.
Natasha?
Would 3 weeks work for you, Dave?
No, all of May, I'm gonna be gone.
Okay.
Sorry.
The reason why I suggested is this Cumberland Farms is a pretty big project, so.
I agree. I would like to be there.
That's
Seriously,
fine. No,
I'd like-
that's not a problem. That's why I suggested 3. Okay,
I know, but I won't be there even for 3. And
okay,
I don't want to put it off into June.
all
I
right.
think if you go with one week, it would be too soon and you could, you stay around and from the last minute and then we don't come to a conclusion. We want to give them plenty of time.
Yeah,
Okay. Natasha, you voted
The
to,
motion is for the 13th. Okay,
all in favor, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes,
Aye.
yes, yes. Brian, yes. For the 13th of May. Right, Brian?
Yep.
There we go. All right. Our meeting is over.
Motion to adjourn?
We have our motion to adjourn. Brian? You want to make the motion to adjourn?
Sure. Let's get out of here.
motion to adjourn. I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Bye.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen.
Natasha, what's wrong with your wrist?
I've got carpal tunnel in this wrist and I have a pinched nerve in my other shoulder.
Oh my God.
So they want to
You're
do
too-
surgery on both.
What
Way
is
too
it?
young for this stuff, Natasha.
It's called farming.
Yeah, right. Okay, have a good evening.
You do.
Bye-bye.
Repetitious movement.
Oh, that's for the physical therapy.